Hello, my book friends. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Jules, and I am coming at you with a mid-year book freakout tag. So I have not done this kind of a tag before because this is my first year on BookTube. So happy mid-year BookTube for me. And yeah, so let's just get started. So far, I've already read 121 books this year. Who am I? I'm like on track to exceed my number I had last year, which was over 200 books. I don't quite remember my number from last year, but it was a lot. So I have my paper that has the questions. I'm going to go ahead and tag Keisha, who is the first friend of mine that I saw do this. I will tag her. And she, I believe, has tagged like the original creators of this tag, which I don't know. So I will link her so that you have those tags of those original creators. And there are a ton of booktubers doing this, and I'm loving it. So yeah, let's get started. Question number 1 is best book you've read so far this year. That is hands down The Women by Kristen Hanna. I have a whole dedicated reading vlog to this book. I found some old letters that my grandpa sent when he was in the war, sent to my grandma. So I read those in that, as well as some other pictures and things. It was a really good vlog. I highly recommend going to check it out. If you're interested in this kind of book and you want to see that vlog, please go check it out. Number 2, best sequel you've read so far this year. I'm going to have to say Queen of Shadows. This is book 4 in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J. Maas. I am loving this series. I have rated all of the books in this series 4 stars except for this one and Assassin's Blade. I loved Assassin's Blade, but it was just more of short stories. So that's why I'm choosing this one as my favorite sequel, is because it was my only first 5-star whole story of the series, and I am loving this series. New release you haven't read yet but want to. That's going to be Middle of the Night by Riley Sager, which today is release day. So I cannot wait to read this book. I already have it in my Book of the Month box as an add-on, even though we can't select our picks yet. So I will be reading this for Jess's book club pick for July, so I am very anxious to get to it. It's going to be hard to see everybody else reading it because I know everyone's going out today and getting their book, and they're going to be binging it, but it's just going to have to wait for a few more weeks for me. Question 4, most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Hands down, that is going to be Wisteria by Adeline Grace. That is book 3 in the Belladonna series. I love this series. And I cannot wait to get my hands on the 3rd book. That is by far my most anticipated. It doesn't come out till August, but you know what? That's right around the corner because this year is just going by so fast. Question 5, biggest disappointment. So I've actually had a really good reading year this year. I have had some duds though. I mean, I'm always going to have books that are like disappointing reads or aren't that great or DNFs and whatnot. But as for when I think disappointment, I think something that I have a high expectation for and then it disappoints me. So for me, that is going to be Bared Souls by L.A. Wade. I purchased this off of TikTok because I saw a little TikTok video of it from the author. The covers for this series is stunning. There's a whole series, and I wanted to love this so bad. I wanted to love it so that I could buy all of them because I wanted the whole collection of them. Yeah, that did not happen. I mean, I didn't rate it really bad. It still got a 3-star for me, but it wasn't enough for me to want to collect it and keep it on my shelves. Like, it just, it was very toxic. There was a whole lot of unnecessary romance. And yeah, I just didn't. It was a red flag times 1,000 type situation, and I can't get behind a storyline where there are so many red flags and the other partner is just oblivious to it all or keeps taking them back and giving them 15,000 chances. So for me, it just was super disappointing, unfortunately. Number 6 is biggest surprise. So for that, I'm going to go with The Women by Kristen Hanna. This is a biggest surprise for me because this is historical fiction, and I don't like historical fiction. So it's really surprising to me that my favorite book of the year is a historical fiction book. I know a lot of people love this book and some people are just like, it's okay. I feel like I enjoyed it more because I had more of a connection with it, since I did have, the war letters, and it was something that I reminisced with my family. So that was why I liked it so much. But I'm very surprised. Very, very surprised. So my in-person book club picked this book, and I was just like, oh man. I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna like this. So I just got it on audio, and I started the audio, and let me tell you, I was literally one chapter in, maybe two, into this audiobook, and I was like, nope, I need to have this physically. I need to tab it. I need it. So I ended up pausing reading it and ordered the physical copy of it. Number 7, favorite new author. This is either new as in new debut author or new to you author. So for this, I'm going to have to say Sarah J. Maas. So Throne of Glass was my very first Sarah J. Maas book, and I was instantly hooked. Instantly hooked. Love the series. Love her. She will be an auto-buy author for me from now on. Number 8, newest fictional crush. I really don't have crushes on characters, but I will go with my most recent read, and that's going to be Justin from Just for the Summer. Only because he is just the stinking cutest. I just love the way he falls hard for Emma and the way he's so supportive of her and his quirkiness with getting to know her, and it was just a lot of fun. So if I have to answer this, it's going to be Justin. Newest favorite character. My favorite character right now is Selena Sardathian, which, yes, I know later in the story her name changes, but for me she will always be Selena, and I just love her. I love how powerful she is and how determined, and no matter what happens to her, she just picks herself back up and she keeps fighting. So she is my favorite right now. Book that made you cry. Going back to the women, if you go to my vlog for this book, you will see me ugly crying. I cry a lot. Hands down, probably my most emotional read of the year. This is definitely a tearjerker, for sure. Number 11, book that made you happy. So honestly, I read a lot of like thriller and horror and cozy mysteries and books that aren't really like super happy, I guess. Even like some of the rom-coms I read, like there's always like the sad mushy stuff in them too. So there's not like anything that's like super happy. But from what I'm remembering of what I've read, so I'm gonna go with books that like made me laugh. So that's going to be Finlay Donovan Rolls the Dice. Actually, any of the Finlay Donovan books. So I know people haven't liked her recent ones as much as her earlier books, but I have loved all of them, especially the audio. So they just make me laugh. Another book that I'm in the middle of reading is Class Reunions or Murder. I'm 70% through. I've burned through this book. It is so funny. It is making me laugh out loud. And if a book can make me laugh, obviously it makes me happy. So I am so surprised at how much a cozy is making me chuckle and just giggle and laugh and be silly, and I'm here for it. Number 12, most beautiful book you've received or bought so far this year. That is going to be Foxglove, because these covers are beautiful. And let me take that off. I mean, like, would you look at it? The end pages. Yeah. Yes. This is a Barnes & Noble exclusive one. And I do want to go back and get a better copy of Belladonna. The dust cover of this is pretty, but my copy is just a plain old white book. At some point I will go back and get a prettier copy of this. So I cannot wait for Wisteria. The cover. I can't wait to see it. And then the last question is, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? I don't have anything that I need to read. I have everything that I want to read. So pretty much all the books. Any of the books is what I need to read. So that is it for all of my questions. So basically my tops of the year are the Women and Throne of Glass series and the Belladonna series. Those are amazing. If you have not read any of those, what are you waiting for? You should go do that. So I hope you enjoyed this video. In the comments, just leave me your favorite book or favorite series of the year so far. Until my next video, friends, be yourself, be awesome, be kind.